Hey, I'm Rachel J, and this is Cultivator Kitchen. Today, it's finally happening. We are planning for my 2020 summer garden. It is one of the best times of the year. Spring is right around the corner. Where I live, north of Chicago, of course, we are not planting till after our last frost date, which is well into May. So it's still 2 months here until I can start gardening, but what I can do is prep the soil, order seeds, and decide what I'm gonna grow. So today I'm gonna show you how I'm planning for my garden, and I'm using a really cool new free tool so that I can map it out for you guys in color. I hope you're gonna love it. I'll show you that on my computer, and then I'll talk a little bit about what seeds I'm gonna order this year. All right, here is how I'm planning my garden. So I'm doing things a little differently this year. I'm planning my raised bed garden for the summer using the Farmer's Almanac Garden Planner online. This is the free version, and I've just sketched out using their tools the 16 raised beds that we're gonna have. If you guys haven't yet, watch my garden transformation video where I show you how we built this raised bed garden ourselves. So I use this just to map out and space out what I have in here. I'm gonna zoom in and give you guys a tour. So near the back gate of my property, I've already planted a whole bed of garlic last year. So that's already in, and in a few weeks, I will be planting a whole bed of onions as well. Something new I want to do this year is I want to grow cabbage. I've not had great luck with cabbage in the past because of cabbage moths. So I'm going to be covering the cabbage to see if I can grow them this year. And I'm going to actually put a squash tunnel over them, which I couldn't show in this diagram. But I'm going to have kabocha growing over the cabbage, and I'll be planting those later to avoid the squash bugs. So that's the first row of what my garden will look like this year, and I'm really excited to give it a go. The second row here is going to be an entire bed of potatoes and an entire bed of sweet potatoes. For potatoes, I also plant these pretty early, and I will be growing these just from potatoes I bought from the grocery store that I let go to sprout. I do that every year, and it's really awesome. And I will get hundreds of pounds of potatoes in return, so it's really economical. Secondly, this will be the first year where I'm growing my own sweet potato slips. Look forward to that video. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to grow sweet potatoes from scratch, and I'm really excited. So there'll be an entire bed of sweet potatoes as well. Next, I have my carrot bed, which I always interplant with radishes. Radishes will come up in 20 days and carrots take way longer, and radishes will make room for the carrots to grow. So I love to plant those together. And this year I'm considering taking my first time growing a tomatillo plant since I make a ton of green salsa. So we'll see if that's going to work out. I'm still kind of on the fence about this one, but we'll see. Next is my tried and true, two of my absolute favorites. Last year, we had a ridiculously good crop of cucumbers. I grew more than 100 cucumbers last summer in these raised beds. So if you haven't yet, go watch that video. And I did amazing with Swiss chard. So I'm going to have an entire bed that's cucumbers and Swiss chard. The new bed that we're adding here is one that my parents bought us as a gift, which I'm very excited about. It's a bit of a smaller bed, but it is covered, so we can start it before we start the rest of the garden. So I'm going to put something very hardy in there. I'm going to put all of my kale. In the third row, I'm going to have a really interesting mix. So I always grow cucumbers and tomatoes vertically, and I have trellises for that. And then I'm going to have room in front of those for Swiss chard, peppers, arugula, and parsley and lettuce. And in between the tomatoes and cucumbers, I'm going to grow some edible flowers like marigolds, chamomile, calendula, and nasturtiums. And I'm hoping that by crowding this out a little, which I always like to do in my beds, you get way less weeds and you get more productivity. So I grow as much stuff vertically as possible. So as I mentioned, I'm growing these squashes vertically on tunnels. I'm going to grow these cucumbers vertically. I'll have a stand for the tomatillo. I also have stands for the cucumbers, tomatoes, and peppers. So I'm using as much vertical space as I possibly can. And last but definitely not least are my berry beds. So I have 6 raspberry plants, 3 blueberry plants. I'm moving some of my strawberries into the side of this blueberry bed. This comes up every year and these are perennials, so I don't need to replant this. I'm really excited to harvest raspberry leaves this year for tea and all my berries. And then I have one little 3x3 bed that's in this area where the path curves, which you can't see in this diagram, but you guys probably remember what it looks like. And that's where I'm going to put my zucchinis. So that is everything that I'm going to be growing this year. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this. Obviously, I have a second side of my garden, which has my fruit trees and more strawberries and my perennial herbs. But this is the main part I have to plan for. The next step when looking at your garden plan is to think about what seeds you need. So these 4 I'm already set for. I'm growing the sweet potatoes and potatoes from starts myself. I've already planted my garlic and I have onion seeds already. So everything else here, I'm either going to grow from seeds or starts. So from this, I can accurately make a seed list and get my seed order in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Leave any questions you have below, and I hope you're as excited as I am for gardening season. All right, so that is what my raised bed garden is going to look like. And once you map it all out, you know how much space you have, then it's much easier to order your seeds and start anything that you need to start inside in advance of planting season. And of course, you need to know your frost date, what you can plant in your zone, so make sure to look all that up. And I have a more in-depth video I made last year on my favorite seed resources, and I will link to that below so you can watch it. One is the Kanazawa Seed Company. This guide comes to me every year because I love to order from them. They have amazing Asian heirloom varieties. And then my absolute favorite, I swear I am not sponsored by them, but I just love it so much. Look how gorgeous this catalog is. This is Baker Seed Co. If you go to rareseeds.com, that's where you can get all of their heritage and heirloom seeds. And this is where I order almost all of my seeds from. I love them, and their catalog is just, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful to look at. When this comes every year, I get so excited, and it really just gets me in the mood for garden planning. So now that I've made my garden plan, I know that I need certain seeds like kabocha seeds, and I'm gonna need flower seeds and all the other things I planned for. I'm gonna go through this catalog, I'm gonna go through their website, and I'm gonna go ahead and order today. And I mentioned this last year, but I also use a local organic farm that has a greenhouse where they can start seeds indoors, and that's about an hour away from me, and they come to my farmer's market, and that is where I get some of my seed starts. Because I live so far north, if I don't use starts for things like tomatoes or cucumbers, I'm not gonna get a great harvest. So I will also be thinking about what I would want from them and contacting them. It's a weird situation this year because I don't know when the farmer's market's coming back, and I don't know what's happening since everyone is dealing with the pandemic right now. So I'm gonna contact the farmer that I use. I'm gonna go to rareseeds.com, and now that I've made my garden plan, I'm gonna go ahead and place my orders. And I will be starting some stuff inside to see how it goes. I don't have a greenhouse, I don't have grow lights, so it might be a fail, but I'll share it with you guys anyway. So make sure to stay subscribed. And that's it for today's video. I hope you're as excited as I am. If you guys are planning, leave a comment below with what you want to grow this year, and let me know if you liked this format and if you liked the tool that I used. I'll try to show you guys once things get growing, and I cannot wait. All right, that's it for now. See you guys next time.